Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for this episode 21 of the 200 horsepower challenge here on Comlands with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, it is late in the following day or the following month, as you can see. It also just started to snow just as I started recording. It was a pretty nice day before that. But all I had to do this month, other than look after our animals, was the last grass field that we didn't mow and turn to silage last month. The one that's just right up there by the cow barn. So I did that. I mowed it actually first thing this morning, put it in our fermenting silo, and actually had it all fermented, and I have sold it. So that's 626,000 represents the sale of silage from all of our grass fields. Of course, this is January, the peak sale month, so that's the maximum amount we would get for a revenue from each grass cut from all our fields, if you're following me. Except I did sell a little bit of fertilizer. We had a little bit of extra in here, so I did sell that. Now, I did take and the barley from our harvest, I split it between our production here for seeds and our chickens. So we'll have, well, let's take a look. I think it should be done or just about done. Seeds. Yeah, we're at 13,000 liters of seeds. So we'll be good shape there for a while. We are up to another 9,600 liters of fertilizer from our manure and slurry. It's got a little bit more to process, not a lot. Oh, and one thing I realized, let's take a look at this. When we were looking in here, I was saying I could take our slurry and make manure with straw. Well, I can, but there's a recipe here to take slurry and turn it directly into fertilizer. It isn't a one-to-one recipe. You lose a little bit, but that's fine. So why muck around doing that? So any excess slurry, I'll just turn directly into fertilizer that way and won't bother making manure out of it. Okay, yeah, I think that's about it. So I fed the cows, fed the chickens, sold our milk and eggs, then sold all our silage after it was fermented from today. And so that was it. That was a day. Nothing but grass work and a few chores. Now I'm just going to sit on that money. I'm going to wait until the harvest is ready. Now this old lady came by and she was selling wares out of her van, and she talked me into buying a crystal ball, and she said I could use it to see the future. So I, being gullible, I bought it, and I've looked into the future, basically at next month. And there is sweet nothing to do next month other than look after the cows. So what I'm going to do is we will just bypass February, and I will see you in March or April when we actually have some harvest work to do. Other than that, I'll just look after the animals in the meantime and enjoy the snowfall. So we'll catch up with you in a month or two. See you then. Well, good morning and welcome to March. Early morning March at that. The little crystal ball that told me there was nothing going on last month told me that this month we have a shed ton going on. So I was up, I was going to say at the crack of dawn, but I was up in before dawn working on getting our animals taken care of. I completed our daily milk and egg sales. That's why our money has gone up a little bit. I didn't sell off anything else. I moved all our manure and slurry over, and it's in the production now, and it's running, creating fertilizer, which we will have some that we're going to sell for sure, and we're probably going to need to, as you will see here in just a little bit. And speaking of manure, our pen up on top, it made the appropriate amount of manure this time. So as mysteriously as it stopped for a day or two there, it started again. So don't know what was going on. This time it was all inside the pen, none had spawned. So maybe our cows just got a bad batch of feed and were constipated for a few days. We'll go with that. But anyways, it is what it is. We've got a plan to deal with it going forward. So but just thought I'd share that. So now let's take a look at the map and we'll see what we're up against here today. If we look at what's ready to harvest, our large barley field here is ready to harvest, and our 3 vegetable fields are ready to harvest. And on top of that, this grass field and this grass field are ready to harvest. And then, of course, once they're all harvested, we need to turn them around. Not that big a deal for the grass fields, and won't be so bad on this barley field, although we will be putting spuds in there next time around. But these vegetable fields, we'll need to plow and rock pick in addition to everything else. So lots and lots to do. I don't know if it can all be done in a day, but we are going to give it a try. But that's why we're starting here early, and the reason I brought you in the dark is the first thing we need to do is do some shopping and spend some of that money, and we can certainly do that when it's dark out. So let's open up the shop menu, and down here we're going to start with our vegetable harvesters. Now, I did keep an eye out on the used market, and we weren't lucky enough to pick anything up. So we have to buy 2 brand new ones, and I'm going to go with these ones that have a capacity. So the workers will be using them, and I'll be carting is my plan. And we're going to turn the plates off on these. We don't need a license plate on those. So we need 2 of those, just like that. Okay. And now we need something to cart. Our plan's not going to work if I'm using an 8,000 liter trailer. And we have lots of options here. But you know what? I think we'll stick with the Metaltech trailers. We have the one that works fine. I was thinking we needed about 20,000 liters would be a good size. I know we're not packing our vegetables up the hill to the shop, but we do need to go up there from time to time, and I thought 20,000 liters with our horsepower would be about the right size for us. Oh, that one. I knew one of those changed the cover color. So I think we'll go in black, and you'll see why here in a second. That one can have a plate, so we want to buy that. So we've got a larger carting trailer, not only for our root crops, but for our cereal crops as well. And before we get too carried away, I want to make sure we have our potato planter. Another fairly pricey item. And we'll go with the largest one here. It takes 170 horsepower, but it has an 8,000 liter capacity. No options on that. So we'll buy that just like it is. But that we should have no issues pulling that because it's pretty flat there. And that'll help us get that field planted as quickly as possible. Now, we're down to 279,000, and what we're going to do is we are going to buy what I plan on being the first of our end-game tractors, this one right here. But this will be the boss's tractor. This will be the largest tractor on the farm, and what I want is the Warrior Edition, and we are going to go with the BKTs on this one because they have the widest tires. Love fat tires and weights. We want we want the beige beacons right and left because, you know, how often I use those. The new steering wheel, we want a rug on the floor. We don't need a front loader attacher, and I'm not going to put the crop sensors on for now. If we need it, we can add it later, but probably not going to need them on this tractor. And I love this matte black. Look at that. Now that is a beast. It's a ton of money, as you can see, 236,000, but a brand new state-of-the-art Deutz. Love it. And my thinking is we might end up with a couple of those at some point. But the reason I wanted the other tractor is not so much for the harvesting. We probably could have carted with our small tractor, but when it comes to start prepping the fields, as you may recall last time, I said if I'd had another tractor, I could have used it. So to speed that process up, that's why I got it, and I might as well have it for carting. So what I think we'll do is I do want to get started on the harvest, but it's not the best time to record. So I'll go ahead and get our equipment, get it hooked up, get it started, and when it gets full light, I'll bring you in and we'll do a preview of it in action. But I don't have any time to waste, so to speak. So I will see you when it gets a little bit lighter and our vegetable harvest will be in full swing. So we'll see you then. Well, I'm just about to dump in the last of our carrots. Thought I'd show you what the texture is. Looks just like carrots. Surprise, surprise. So it took almost exactly an hour to harvest this field. I think it was about an hour and 5 minutes. I did spend a few minutes kind of organizing a few things, so that's why it's been a little bit more than an hour since brought you in. So we're going to go dump these, and we'll see what we have for carrots. One thing I forgot to mention about this tractor, it also has the 63 km/h top speed, so that's really handy. Like for this carting job, we can take a pretty good run at the hill. All right, let's actually go into our production and have a look-see, because I'm curious how close to full it is. Nowhere is close, but we have 115,000 liters of carrots. It's only about 25% full. All right, I am going to get set up on the parsnips, and I will show you this finely oiled vegetable harvesting machine we got here. So I'll catch up with you in just a second. Okay, so we're all set to start on the parsnips. So we are going to get this guy going here first. You'll notice he's starting off with his pipe towards the field. When he comes back down, we'll pick him up and unload him. And we'll set this guy off. When that guy is a little bit more than halfway. Not so important right now, but when they get a little closer together, you need to keep some separation so they don't get tangled up on the ends. Ask me how I know that. That should be good there. Now it actually went smoother than I thought it would, kind of once I got the system worked out. I did learn one thing though, and that is that these harvesters will not unload on the go. So they stopped to unload. So for this guy, kind of got to judge where to be. So I'd say right about there, so that he picks up the trigger on his way back. We'll give ourselves a little bit of room here to adjust, because it's easier when you've got your previous tracks in the field to go by. Now I do have crop destruction turned off, but if all goes well, I really won't need to drive on the crops. But to get him, this worker that we're waiting for started, you could see he was sitting in the crop. And all of the workers don't, they can run over the crop all they want. If I had crop destruction on, he would have wrecked some. And sometimes my timing wasn't quite right. And one time I actually ended up having to unload one of the guys with the pipe to the inside of the field. Now, this should all work because I think the parsnips have almost identical yield to the carrots. See, now we got lucky there. We just about lined up perfectly. Now he'll lift up. Or he won't. Oh, how come he's not? Because I'm recording it, of course. Now, you don't actually need to be right under. I learned that as well. As long as you're kind of even with it, um, it'll work as well. I'll show you what I mean when we go to catch this guy up. But they just trigger off of the trailer, not the tractor. So that's why I was sitting backwards there. Because when I drove, drove into it, the pipe would actually hit the tractor. It wouldn't lift. Oh, I'm probably going to be sitting in this guy's way here. Wants to turn. But you can see he's just about... Oh, would you believe it? Look at that. Filled up right there. So it must be just a slightly higher yield. Because he didn't... Okay, see now this is why I have crop destruction off, so I don't have to back in. I'll just go ahead and drive under him. Oops, sorry about that. On the carrots, he would be turned around and I'd pick him up going the other direction. So I didn't have to drive on the crop like that. Now what we'll do is we'll get lined up for this guy again. So I suppose I'm always going to be unloading that guy on the crop. The parsnips yield just that little bit more, it looks like, that my system doesn't work, of course. So that's what I'm doing is I'm kind of looking, okay, that's where he's going to be running, and I want to be one tractor width on the other side. I said when the field gets done a little bit, or closer to being done, I'm parking on the field itself. I can see where my my tracks were, and I can use that. And I brought this guy down here. That's what I was kind of doing in that little bit of time between when it was finished and when I brought you guys in, is, excuse me, I took and moved some fertilizer around. So we have 15,000 liters now in our silo, and you can see it actually just came in. I put the rest of our fertilizer on selling because we had, and I'm going to put a worker going on this. He can go ahead and get this mulched while we're working on this part. It was $2,000 in worker fees roughly to harvest the field. And then between, I can hear my dog barking outside. I also went and repaired the 2 tractors before we started this, and that was almost $2,000. So it cost us almost $4,000 between equipment repairs and worker fees to harvest that field. That's why I went and got organized so we could get our fertilizer on selling to offset those costs. And you can see we were at 42,000, and after paying $4,000 in those fees, we're up to 66 now to fertilizer sales. I meant to mention that before it actually sold, but didn't get to it in time. See there, he opened up that time, or lifted up, and we just have to back up. So this side isn't going to be a problem, but we're going to have a problem on the other side. Oh, and we're just about full. All right, well, he's just going to have to sit, and we don't have enough to empty a full trailer load, so we'll run this guy up. I didn't think the parsnips and carrots yields were that much different, but it seems like it's going to be. Now, I will warn you, due to real life constraints and when this video needs to come out, um, I'm not going to be able to get this harvest finished. So what we're going to do is leave you as a little bit of a cliffhanger. We'll record this bit of the parsnip harvest and then we'll just leave it there. And at the beginning of the next episode, we'll go over our total yield for all our vegetables. And then I will have done some calculations because our first option is to make the triple soup that uses all three vegetables, but I'll see how much that's going to take, do some calculations, and see if we can run the individual soups as well. Oh no, look, that guy got turned around this time. Oh, that's okay. Now I wonder why he filled up so fast the first time. Strange. That's how it's supposed to work. I'm supposed to be able to catch this guy up on this side of the field on the way up. Now I just need to run right near the edge here like so, and he'll stop and he'll dump in from there. You don't need to be right underneath. But like they're stop and unload only. Well, now that's how it's supposed to work. Actually, you know what? We'll just carry on. We'll go this direction. Yeah, unfortunately, this episode is going to post in a couple days, and as soon as I get this done, I'm going to be tied up doing other things for the next couple days, so won't be on till the weekend before I get to get this finished up. Okay, so we'll do our same trick here. That's roughly where he's going to run. Oh, so we want to be right on the edge here. Like so. Should work out just about perfect. And we'll catch him when he comes back of this way. So there's a little bit of downtime for me on the carting side, but not a lot, as you can see. I was thinking if it was a little bit more dead time, I could kind of work on getting the headlands done on the barley field, but it's just not worth it. Ooh, we might be just off by a tiny little bit. We'll see if he picks it up or not. Oh, just about perfect, actually. Now we just got to back up. Now, if the potato harvest goes as smoothly as what this appears to be going, I'll be really pleased. Because I don't think that's too bad, an hour to harvest those vegetable fields myself. Oops. You want to actually go forward there, Farmer Murphy. That tractor there, those harvesters, they only need 100 horsepower. And the Deutz the green Deutz we're looking at right now, the new model, it's got 170. But I notice it seems to stop every once in a while. I don't notice the old Deutz doing it, but that one seems to, just for some reason, stop. Just momentarily, but don't know if it's a horsepower issue, a compatibility issue. I'm just not quite sure what it's doing. But during this recording, I've seen it twice. You guys probably haven't noticed it, but I've noticed it. Really curious why he filled up on that first pass so quickly. Oh, sorry about that darn dog, even outside. It's actually worse because I got my window open. I don't think we have quite enough room there to get spun around without running over crops, so actually we can get one more in there before the trailer is full. Actually, the trailer size has worked out pretty good, I must say. You can see this tractor doesn't have too much of an issue pulling it up that hill, even though it's nearly full. So I'm pleased with that combination as well. I would say probably right about there now should work. Oh, we should take a look inside. It's as nice inside as it is outside. Lots of bells and whistles. Very nice tractor. I am a John Deere fan, but I'd have to say these Deutz Warriors though are right up there. They're one of my favorite tractors in game for sure. Really like them. Well, we better get out here and pay attention to what we should be doing. So you'll be along here before too much longer. I should check the time too. Yeah, we're just about out of time. Unbelievable how fast that goes. You can see our worker over here. He's finished mulching that field. Now the next thing we need to do, I want to lime it before we do anything else. So we need either this tractor I'm in or the one that's coming up here behind us. Oh no, look, he stopped. Oh, you know what? I just noticed. I think what it is sometimes they take and pick up two rows. And what it was, he was lifting. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. He was lifting up where he'd actually inadvertently picked up a little bit of the row he's working on. So he stops, picks up, moves ahead, puts down. I don't know if that makes sense. We'll get out of his way and I'll show you what I mean. That solves that mystery. So what he had done is, if he had accidentally picked up a little bit of this row here that I'm standing on, when he's coming down, when he hits that brake, he stops, picks up, moves ahead, and then puts down. So that's what that little stopping is about. I just caught saw the harvester move up and down when he stopped there. We'll go get this dumped, and I'm afraid we're going to have to call the episode there, but that was gives you an idea how that's going to work. Like I said, I will get the vegetables harvested, and that's probably where I'll start the next episode. I might do a little bit of the barley harvest, we'll see, but that's where we'll catch you up. So if you're still with me, I really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to know when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. But for this busy episode here on Comlands, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.